Hello, YouTube. So we've just finished up the first half of our season 7, which is us exploring the islands of California. Now we're going to take a little break in that season and show you guys this mini-series that we shot in August of this year. I'm filming this in our studio where me and Camille live in South Central Los Angeles, so there'll be some background noise. So with this mini-series, we take you guys along with us on a trip where we were flown up to Seattle, Washington to help a dear friend of ours who is also a longtime patron make his sailing dreams come true and start him on the path of fulfilling like a long-term dream that he's had. So the story leading up to this is insane, and it's all based around the main figure, our friend Tim, who's been our patron since April of 2019, and then we became like real world friends with him. And here's a little clip of Tim explaining what led to him buying his dream boat, and then we'll talk about how me and Camille and Steady ended up in Seattle helping him out. And will you talk a little bit about like what happened to you last year and why, what made you move forward with getting a boat?
Yeah, March 7th, I had a little heart attack. So I was dead for 26 minutes, they tell me. I remember being on the phone and then that was it. So I was dead for 26 minutes. The rescue team at work came and did CPR on me, and luckily we have AEDs all over the place. So they hit me 6 times with a couple different AEDs, and they forced me back. And then
they airlifted you out,
yeah,
right?
A helicopter came and picked me up. I don't remember any of it. After that, I realized that, hey, you know, you could go at any time. Well, I've been wanting to go sailing and scuba diving around the world for a long time. I've been working towards this goal. So that kind of put me in high gear. Like, now's the time. You don't need to keep working and making money and all this nonsense. Get your boat and go.
Yeah, life is terrifyingly short.
Yep.
Okay, so Tim's little heart attack was a severe heart attack. And as you heard him say, he was dead for 26 minutes. He was in, I can't remember how long his recovery was, but he was in really bad shape and lost a ton of weight. So Tim's heart attack happened at work. He is, I'm going to read what his title, because I'll mess it up otherwise. He's a lead control operator running a combined cycle power plant. He's been working for the power plant he's with now for 23 years, and he helped completely build this plant in 2010. And basically, he just works a ton, and then he takes off as much time as he can take off and goes scuba diving around the world. And now his plan is to sell his house and quit his job, take all his savings, get on his boat, and just get out there, go sailing and scuba diving and see the world, because it can all be taken away from us that fast. And I actually met him in person. He happened to be in Los Angeles 5 months after the heart attack and came to Tritea. We hung out, talked boats, talked sailing dreams, and he was like, I gotta make this happen. And we talked about what different types of boats and types of sailing and what he wanted to do, what we wanted to do. And then he went back home, and he lives in Nevada. And then cut to April of this year, and he messaged me and was like, I found one of my dream boats that's within my price range, and it's like way ahead of schedule from what I thought I was going to be doing, but I feel like I can't pass up this opportunity. And he got a survey done, and then he messaged me back and was like, okay, so like the surveyor uncovered that the mast step is completely crushed. So the rig had sagged down. I don't remember how many inches it was. It was probably crushed like 2 inches down. So it was completely unstable. The rig was completely unstable, and it was a keel step mast. So the mast goes through the deck and then to the keel, but there was a thick mast step that water had gotten into and completely crushed it. And it's a testament to how good his surveyor was that they found it, because it was in a very hard place to find, and it was a very honest surveyor. And so he called me after the survey and was like, the mast step is crushed. I got a quote from the yard. I think he said the quote from the yard was like $8,000 to $10,000. I can't recall the exact number, but I told him, I was like, look, I can do it for a lot less than that. So if that's the only thing holding you back from getting your dream boat, get the boat, and then you fly me and Camille and steady up, and then pay me X amount of money, and we'll get it taken care of for far under that number. It still ended up being very expensive because of the yard and because of all kinds of costs, but he came in far under what the yard had quoted him for the whole thing. And he was a part of the whole process, like while I rebuilt the entire step. So this mini series is us spending a week with Tim in Seattle, and it's not so much like the regular how-to, because we were on a very tight time frame. We had I think there was 5 days total for me to rebuild this step and to put the mast back on. So it was some gnarly days, but we filmed what we could, and we take you guys along for the ride. And the most beautiful thing is Tim bought that boat because it was his dream boat, and he's a world-class scuba diver. He scuba dives all over the world, and he's a macro photographer, and his dream is to sail around the world and scuba dive and just see beautiful things. And so he bought this boat, beautiful Panda 40, Decatur, SV Decatur, and he had never been sailing. I think the only time he had ever been on a sailboat was he had been on a chartered catamaran on a dive trip somewhere, but he had never been sailing before he bought his boat. And with the crushed mast step, he bought the boat, I think it finalized in May of this year, and so he wasn't able to actually sail it until after we rebuilt the mast step and went sailing for the first time in August. So it's a pretty rad story, and it's a important lesson for us to all remember how short life is. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this little mini series. We loved him so much, became very good friends with him, and we're gonna be doing a lot of sailing with that guy and buddy boating in the future and stuff. So yeah, we're grateful that we spent the week with him and helped him move forward on this dream that was almost taken from him, by our own mortality. So without further ado, here's a mini series, Sailing Dreams. It's the first episode, called A Second Chance. Hello friends, we are in Port Orchard, Washington. We're helping our buddy Tim on his gorgeous, gorgeous Panda 40. We're gonna drive the boat today from Port Orchard, well here's steady, from Port Orchard to Seattle, so that it's Sunday right now, so that tomorrow morning, Monday morning, a boat yard there is gonna pull the mast, and we're gonna repair his mast step, which is crushed. It's deep in the bilge, so we'll take you along for that ride, and we're gonna get this boat back in sailing order so that he can start his adventures. So it's beautiful out, blue skies, which is a rarity up here, Pacific Northwest, and we've timed our departure with the tides to get through this one pass, and we're thinking it's gonna be 5-hour motor to Seattle, and yep, time to get up into Puget Sound. isn't it? Totally nuts, man. What? And that thing must like let tanks drive off of it, huh? You see it's got that big ramp?
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy, right? Oh! We are taking the main off. We gotta take the boom off, because tomorrow we're pulling the stick. We're doing a caterpillar dance. But he's got tracks on the foot.
You already took the head sail off?
Yeah, we got the head sail off. Now we're take the main off, get her folded up, pull our boom off, and then we're kind of good to go.
All right.
So we got the head sail off, we got the mainsail off, and we got the boom off. Now Tim's taking off the belaying bar so that we can kind of have all our ducks in a row for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. we go to a boatyard and pull the mast, and they're going to store the mast for us while we repair the mast up. It's beautiful today, beautiful sky. No rain for now in Seattle. We had a wonderful passage, and yeah, all's great.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. It helps us a lot.
Thanks again to all of our patrons. Your contributions help us get the boat ready for big things.
Until next time.
Like all around the trucks. When we were growing up, everybody had those.
I'm doing like this ultra bright, like people think my boat's a shrimp boat, it's gonna be so bright.
Right.
And I'm mounting it where your horn is under your radar. Mine will be mounted there and it'll just light up the fucking whole place.
Right. Right on.
There was a seal with his head stuck out like a ninja looking for you over there.
I was looking at his friend.
You missed him.